see, dat right. Squeeze under the couch over there. That's good. The ankle. Let's start. Everybody's gonna, let's check in with your name and your mother's name. So, whoever wants to go first.
Very shy. My was so loud.
Sorry. So before we continue, so the what is there is a. Everybody had the time? Everything after drinking? The time? You get them wine over there in the back? Just bureaus or whatever wants to. So what is so there is a first of all, it's 4th of July. That was mentioned it. 4th of July, which is the freedom that we have to be present. That is something that is made possible in this womb, in this consciousness that we're in right now. So there's something to be mindful of, something to appreciate, that we are living in a special time. Living in a special time, even with all the pain and the struggles that we're going through, that we're dealing with. There's still an opportunity. And when I say an opportunity, it does not mean there's an opportunity to grab onto something, but rather it's an opportunity means that that's where we need to be. That's what we got to focus in on. That's what we have to align ourselves with the freedom that we have, which means that we're in a fabric. We're in a fabric, in a womb, in a cloth, and our job is the opportunity is to find that by means of melting into it, becoming one with it. Yes, you have an opportunity to sit in the pain, to sit in the struggle, to sit in the squeeze, but that is what we're in, right? If I'm sweaty and it's hot outside, that's one. But what's going on inside? Whatever we are experiencing, that is just to bring awareness to something else. And if you're still stuck in the other side of that, in the squeeze of that, then you're looking in the wrong direction. So, which means that yes, I can be stuck and I can be stubborn, but the more you do that, the more you're going to trigger the pain. The more you're going to hold on to the squeeze, the more it's going to trigger the pain. And the squeeze is there to wake us up to a level of awareness, to be able to find. It's like dipping into the pool, and then when you come out, you start feeling your body is full of sensors. Our whole body is full of sensors. Everything is a sensor. We mentioned this in the past. We always say that the Malach HaMuvas, his whole body is full of eyes. His full of eyes is that each and every part of our body, every inch is a sensor. Now, due to our the struggle and everything, we learn to numb that. learn to numb that. And as a result of looking, continuing to search, continuing to go to follow the yearning, we keep triggering more and more pain. So you have to go inside. You have to find the opportunity, find what's the purpose of this. Now, it's not for the faint-hearted, it's not for the weak, because the weak are like, hey, I was robbed, I was wronged, and I'm holding on to that. But this is for the ones that are fighting. So you're fighting anyways. So why don't you just fight for the light? And that's our job. And when we do that, this is a very advanced technology. When we do that, miracles happen. Literally, miracles happen. What does it mean, miracle? What's a miracle? A miracle in Hebrew, in Lashon Kodesh, is called nes. A nes is a sign. The Eibishter did not test Avram mit dem Gestrashet. That's not where it's at. He was triggering him. And the trigger happens, how do we know where to go? Exactly where you feel the pain, that's where the door is to get out. Wherever you feel the pain, that's the door to get out. And when you tune into that, you're tapping into the spirit, you're going into a higher consciousness, you're going in from Chomer to spirit, you're going in from Chomer to Tzur, you're going in from something that's bricks and cement. And by going in there, you're tapping into a higher consciousness, you're tapping into, it's almost like you can imagine when you breathe, you do breathing, like these bricks, they start flying. And then these bricks they turn into letters, they turn into osios, they turn into olives. And everything that's happening in this world and all the other worlds, everything is created with letters, with osios, with the Kuvbez osios, with the 22 letters. And if you speak Lashon HaKodesh, which we all do, we all speak Aleph Beis, we understand Aleph Beis. Aleph Beis is the language that this world was created with. Everything was created with that, with the Aleph Beis. By learning how to speak the language, which is Lashon HaKodesh, it's the holy language. It has a hey, it's malchus, it's flow, it's lofty, it floats. When you tune into that, when you learn how to speak the language, you'll find yourself in a different space. That is where we're heading. That's what's going on right now. Where the illusion of the hardship and the squeeze is pressing. It keeps squeezing until you make a yichud with that. A yichud means an intimate moment. Anything that we do, any interaction that we do creates a yichud. When one person talks to another person, you get triggered, positive or not positive. That is a yichud. It's a moment of connection. It's like taking a plug and plugging it into the wall. So you're connecting and it causes a spark and it creates. Ancestry. What does it mean in Zerubis? What is ancestors? Everything that we are doing, all the pain that we're talking to pain because there's a lot of new people here, so we're still addressing pain. So we're starting from bottom up. It's an evolution. Right? Mount Zaida is my Mount Baba. It's a continuation. The way we enter into this world is by two people having a moment, an intimate moment. From that, it continues. The child was not created in the womb. It's just a continuation. We're pulling it down. We're creating a body, which is a wick of a candle. And then the soul, which is the higher conscience, comes in and latches onto that body. And it continues going. So from one to the other. And the way a person is, that is a continuation of our ancestor. It's a continuation of our desires and the Bible, so on and so forth. Now, the year, past, present, and future is all happening at the same time. Just here in this world, in this consciousness, we measure time and space, that it's 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2020, 2023. But if you take it out from, if you remove it from the blocks, if you remove it from the chomer levanim, from the bricks, there's a chair opener. If you remove it from the bricks, then what you find is you're tapping into the soul, you're tapping into the energy of it, the spirit of it. What's the purpose of tapping into the spirit? When we're tapping into the spirit, you're causing the change in the place where you want where you want that change to take place, which means as follows. If I continue addressing my problems in a physical manner, which I'm looking at it as physical, this A, B, C, and D was done to me, and you're holding on to it as a physical object, then you continue making change in physical. So you're swapping from one problem to another problem. Because the body is a vacuum. It's a ratsa v'shuv, it's mati v'lemati, it goes forward and it comes back, it's in and out, it's a heartbeat. Whatever I'm pulsing, that's what I'm going to attract. So if I change, if I break the cycle, if I switch the script, if I change the script, then change happens. So the name, by checking in with the name, that is your oisius, that's your identity, how you show up, that's your code, that's your barcode, how you show up in this world. By addressing the name, getting in touch with your name, and especially who you named after, you carry that, that's the energy you carry, that's the recycling of that soul, of that thing. By tapping into it, not running away from it, by tapping into it, from there you can start releasing and start changing.
But then that name shows up all that in different situations.
Sure. So wherever you're going to show up, you're bringing your combination into that. Your name, you're bringing into that. So if you have two people talking, it's one conversation. Three people show up to the conversation. Now you're bringing that mixture into it. That syrup comes into it, and now it becomes a different conversation. Everybody brings a different flavor. Everybody brings a different color. Everybody brings a different vibration to the conversation. Now, when 10 people sit together, that is a full kernel. That's a nuclear reactor. And from that place, you can tap into the energy behind, the vibration behind that, and you can release yourself. You can let go, release yourself from whatever you're being held, whatever is holding you. So, sitting by the table, you have your physical, and then you're going into the vibration. Going into the vibration. By going into the vibration, you're letting go of whatever it is that you're holding on to, and it becomes a different vibration. So you have the koyach to change the way you show up.
I got a different language now because it's like I like the need at least the moment. Definitely don't bother the moment. It's because the bottom going back to the basics. Things pop up. Tells them exactly most of the exactly what I'm doing to guide me through my journey.
What are you saying?
Specifically being in other more advanced, then you gotta be ready for it. Preference مش فصاحة and you have to be ready. So the daily language بس هو like that. Yeah, it's كده مش هقول يعني يكون مش طبعا.
I'm not sure what you're saying, but let me just finish and then we'll talk. Let me just first get something going. So let's go. Let's check in with the name and the mother's name. Stop. Okay, so fine. So what you need to do is you need to soften your heart. Whatever that means, you have to soften your heart the way you're very. There's a rock. So you need to soften your heart. You carry a lot in your heart and a lot in your head also. You need to just go with that. We'll just leave it at that. A lot of left brain. Breathing, opening up, letting go. Okay. Welcome to the journey. How did you get here?
No.
Still young. Soft eyes. I'm sure evolving into feeling, connecting to the body.
Alexander Berazlin.
Throats, you need to communicate better. Better communication. You know what that means?
Once you're done, avoid it.
Once you're done,
Avoid it.
There's one more too. There's
okay.
the Ishaya and Esther Banana Alger.
A lot of clutter. It's a thin. Listen. What's happening? It's Don't be so hard on yourself. A lot of what's the right word? It's not fear. It's not. There's a lot of toy. Be more calm. More. What? You thought I was gonna punch you? Why now? Why? Exactly. Exactly. That's the point. Instead of trying to resolve the issues, just become present. Just find the Nikita and the other day. One thing at a time. Good, sure. So, no, I'm gonna do something next. A little more time. Sure. Good. Play. Whoever doesn't want can just say the name and say it fast.
Silvan Tilda.
Said it good. Whoa, nice, it's good. Know what it is. Yeah, see it's reality, Ben. But fine. Oh, can you understand one? Strong name to grow into it. Finish.
No pressure.
No pressure, exactly. Who you named after? Zaida?
Two people.
Two people. Was that even That's an easy way out.
Right?
Next.
Shimon Daniels.
We're still in Canada.
Okay,
Fine. Nothing.
I think that
Second time with Ben and
nothing,
Okay.
nothing to achieve before.
On the chat.
I got it.
Okay. Try. You guys got to get married, right? It's a whole bunch of you.
I'm married actually.
You are? Second group up with them.
That's good.
You married? You're married. You're married. Okay.
I don't know.
Finish. Still okay. I said it. Keep on living. Wait, do this again. Ulster. Thank you.
Type of defense.
Wow.
Yeah, it's too much type of defense. Come back to solo. But
What can we do to help?
trust the process.
Good. Okay. The house defenses, nothing. I mean,
Don't do it. It's the best.
you want to talk?
At the end, it's given to me.
Right, so like, what are the defenses or not? You're saying you just check them.
It's so much. So there we
Say it. Do it. Okay.
What?
When you get tired of it, then you're free.
Sounds very easy, huh? Sounds very easy.
Look, That sounds easy. That's our job.
No.
That's our job. That's our job. The job is to
Yeah, the job is to open it up, to push it to become tired. Yes.
become tired.
That's what I do sometimes. I become tired, but that's where I get to the
Yeah.
bottom.
So it's like otherwise it's a mantra is that you keep repeating something over and over again until you lose your mind, your thought process, and then you go into right brain and you're free. You're having a moment. That's the idea of breathing. That's the idea of meditation. You keep until you calm over and over until you have a moment of presence. What happens when I have a moment of presence is that I disconnect from the machine, which is called Chat GPT, and I go into a place of just flow. That's the idea. And it can happen through many things. What happens is that we appreciate Shabbos. When we're young, you don't appreciate it, but when you put in a full week and you feel that it breaks your bones, then you're like, you know what, this is not such a bad idea. So that's the idea of we keep fighting, we keep connecting.
That is realization that everybody has time, but they have to be strapped, meaning there has to be a balance. But next those dog has to enjoy Shabbos. If you shift too much during the week, you're not going to enjoy Shabbos.
Correct.
So
We should do better Shabbos, you have the Shabbos. If you put in a full week, then
if you relax, give it a lot, Shabbos is not going to be as full.
yeah, true. Yeah. But it's good. More expansion. More expansion. Such as a jumper, jump off the cliff. Jump off and flee. But just a little jump. Slowly. Find a better go for the more. It's finding more love. The more love you're gonna find in the heart, the sooner you're gonna detach from whatever is holding. And it's an art. That's what we're learning how to do. We can get there by Torah, good deeds, being present, having a glass of wine, hanging out with friends, just being present. Yeah. Anyone's there? They want to check in there? Well, you can speak up too if you want pizza. Okay, so should be healing. The heart should heal. She wants to go? Come on.
Yes,
Yeah. Should heal. Should have healing in the heart and find your voice. So now that we're all checked in, my name is Moshe Mazel Malka. What? Which one?
The name.
Yeah. Thank you. It didn't come this way. So that's our barcode. This is how we show up here in Welt, and our job here is to get moments of presence, moments of. The more we can get into stillness, the more we can get into finding self-love, the more free we become. So I want to just first start with Kiddush Levi. He has a very, very powerful piece, a new way of looking how what happened this week in the Pasha. So what happened last week, we finished off with that there was the Medunim. They pulled in the Yidden to do Avodah Zarah by trying to flirting with them and pulling them into their tents, and by that they bow down to a different to their Avodah Zarah. What's Avodah Zarah? Avodah Zarah is that we disalign from the channel that we're aligned with, which means, let's just say, let's say that the sun has healing koyach. The sun can heal him. The sun has trifia. But the zin is only a channel from something that's power generating the zin. The zin is a malach. It's an angel. It has a consciousness. All the stars have consciousness. They know who they are and they know what their job is, says the Rambam. So when you want to see the face of an angel, the zin is of the consciousness.
They have names.
Sure. They have names, yeah. They have a koyach, it's a fire, it's a light. The Levuna had ook the consciousness. Insnamen in the koyach from the Levuna. That's why the last few days, if you were tuned in, it was a little rough the last 2 days. And it happens. But what happened is that the last 3 days, Zad Shabbos, the Levuna was very close to Earth. It's also aligned with another star, whatever that is. And because of that, what happens is that the Levuna has a gravity pull. The moon pulls. Okay, it has a gravity pull. And then when there's a full moon, the tide is high. The Wasser, the beach is very high. It also creates waves because it keeps pulling. It has a gravity pull. So there'll be the AC vent in the car. And it says gemacht and macht so in ganzen so boost it fully blows on you. So the moon, the Luna, the Zalbazach, that when it's fully open, it pulls the starke koyach and it creates alle inzimmer 65% Wasser, the body is 65% water. And in the attributes, the middas, the liches, the middas, my feelings are all fueled by water. That's why you need to drink water. That's after every process. I'd say drink water, hot tea, warm tea, keep going, flushing through. Every time you have a deep process, you want to drink water because you want to flush it out to be able to regenerate new energy. So the last step we take, it was very close, and it steers up. So the mission, the Wasser, it gets muddy. So it steers up a lot of emotions, and if you're not aware of this, it gets intense. You start acting out, and temptations, and anger, and depression, anxiety, all the good stuff. So this is all now. That's what I want to make one more point. In our matrix, put together from all the stars and all the galaxies, everything is aligned. So as it shifts, ein star overlaps another star, and the moon overlaps, and this planet overlaps that planet. Different people have different moods. You go into with the cycle of the women have their cycle. Back in the day, it was fully aligned, full moon, half moon. That was according to that. Now we're so disconnected that it's got that over. But what happens is that as these things move around, it shifts the moods, and we're all connected. We all have different reactions to different things. So we have different responses and different reactions to it. If you become mindful of it, then you know not to get into the spin. You understand what's going on. So the solution for the last few days, the solution was to rest, try to stay out of conflict, and drink a lot of water so you can just flush it out. It's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to do something, to change. However, having said all that, we'll get back to the Zur in a second. Having said all that, in Samara channel that is above all that, we can override the system because we're coming from a higher place. We're coming from a place from the thing that created everything. We have a chip within us that you can overcome all that. So that's why you probably see people that are aligned, Daruv and Mismedrish, or whatever, the Rebbe, if he's, we're talking about if he's probably aligned, he's not affected by it. He's not affected by it. But even there, you will also see there are times that the Rebbe wasn't approachable. He's not, he understands why they call it, they operate on a different channel. There's more Dinam, there's Gviras, and now it's not a time. That's in Ishkan, and then when you get together, they create a Shas Rachman. They create a place of chesed. They activated a channel of flow, and they're able to bring down Poel Yishiyas to saturate the veins of this organism that we're in with new koiches. 1 second. Avodah Zura is that they tune into this specific koich, and they look up, they serve that koich. There are different getchkas. Some used to worship fire, used to worship the moon and the sun and different stars. And this is over the Zura because they're tapping into that koich. However, a lot of them did not have a choice. Like Bilam didn't have a choice. He was trapped because that was his line. He knew that this is it. So he tried and he tried and he tried because if the Abishter get with him and he was communicating with him, why didn't he just come to the Yidden and say, I surrender, I want to be the guy, I want to take on your channel? Because he wasn't able to, because the minute he did that, he would cease to exist. Because his existence he was holding space for the opposite. Because look at all the bruchas that came out for it. That's why the Pasha from Bilam, Bulak is called the Pasha of Mashiach. Chassidus. Because it's all talks about the future, it talks about it. He was forced through him, he downloaded, he channeled, and at gebench the Eden Dreimal was Bulak up in the Zurich, so he had no choice, but it was what it was. He couldn't surrender, and that's it. And then they finished him. When the Eden went into war, when there was any type of war, how to get every male, they killed every male. What was that all about? Every nation represented a certain energy, a certain attribute, a certain spin, a certain temptation, a certain fire, a certain anger, a certain or whatever that was. When Creator said to kill them, which means that he killed all the males, so this energy could not come into the world anymore. They killed it. Now it wasn't easy to kill them. You had to be; these were very powerful energies. We're talking about top level black magic, top level koismim, and they had all types of koiches. But and that's why these wars were fought at many levels. Physically, you had to be very centered, very focused, and to be able to go into a battle like this, you were properly lined. David HaMelech cleaned out a lot of them, and then Shaul HaMelech that was supposed to finish up Amalek once and for all, and it did not work out. He let the king live for one more night, and with his kishuv, he was able to hide the energy in animals, and then they basically were dealing with them right now. What does that look like? Kalkite, coldness, doubt, right? The top level doubt. You're having a moment, and then immediately the next day you're dealing with the same struggle. That is a Amalek. Reish is going Amalek. It's right brain. They're very smart. It's the Germans. They know their spiel. But once again, they are holding space for the other side of that, which is our creativity, our right brain. Because in order for me to overcome that level of coldness and that level of doubt, you have to go really deep. You have to dig very deep for that. And that gives us, it's like a light that forces you to look at it. But since we are the light and they are the other side of that, they're the screen, the darkness of the other side. So by our light shining on that, what does that look like when you're experiencing a moment of doubt, a moment of coldness, and a moment of, I'm not so sure? That triggers you to go deeper and to find yourself. So they are here. This is what we're talking about, finding an opportunity on every step of the way to find opportunity. Yes, I see. So that is Avodah Zarah. Now, what happened is that Piנחas, as we know that the Sibes of Shemani Zimri ben Suli, and he came to Moshe and he challenged him with Kozvi Basi, which she was the daughter of one of the kings. We're talking about top heads. What does it mean? What does it mean a prince? And what does it mean a Rosh from Beis of Shemoni Mahabul, a prince from a daughter of a queen? So it wasn't like now where there is a president and you elect him. Even that is a certain code, but now everything is already contaminated. But back then, if you were a head, if you were a king, you were actually a head. You were the head of the consciousness. So they were powerful people. They had a lot of koyach, and they were responsible for all their people. They were carrying all their people. And you had to qualify to be a king. You had to be the head. So he was with her, and he challenged Moshe on it. And then פינחס came, and he killed him and her together. It gets very graphic in the Torah how he killed them. Now it's like killing a prince was not a small, it wasn't something simple. He sacrificed his life because he walked into their camp, and he walked into their tent, and he took a spear and he put it right through him and her, and the whole Shaivat Shimon wanted to kill him. They wanted to kill him because they killed the prince, and according to, as far as they understood, he was allowed to do it. He was allowed to be with her. So now, also what he sacrificed was that if you're a Kohen and you kill somebody, then you can't, you're a fellow, you can't do that with anymore. So he put himself on the line for, he went completely all out. Says the Kedushas Levi that why was he able to be, so the Eibishter told Moshe that no, I know his intention, it was pure, he nailed it. Bekana is Kenasi, he went straight, the intention was right. And the reason that he was able to be a Kohen, he actually became Kohen after, became another Yonubi. So what happened is that when he killed him, there was a Magefa. People started dying. 24,000 people died from Shaivat Shimon. So when he killed him, he didn't do it as a revenge, but he did it to stop the Magefa, to stop the death. So it unleashed. There was a Magefa broke out because they misaligned from the alignment that they were in, which is channeling and being present with whatever they were supposed to. Every Shevet had their channel where they were supposed to the process, and this misalignment caused the rupture. So imagine there is an organism, all right? Like each and every one of us, we're all connected to this organism. The veins, everything that you do, you're continuing from your parents, from your grandparents, and everything that you're doing, we're continuing to flow with this energy. The DNA is our parents, and they're from their parents, up to Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. So what happened was that they ruptured that because it was a massive force. We're in the midbar. Everybody was this galus Hashchina. I mean, there was open. They saw everything. The Doradeh, they were fully connected, whatever that means. Any moment that you're having in a moment of breathing, drinking, or whatever else you're doing, and you're fully aligned, times that by 100% clarity, they were holding that. So there was a rupture. Now, in order to stop that bleeding, he killed him to stop that bleeding. So he realigned that thing. So when פינחס killed, he didn't do it out of Bekanes Kenasi. It is not from a place of anger, but rather he was looking and he found a solution on how to fix that, how to realign that flow. So that was what happened over there, and that's why he was Eliyahu Navi. That's why he didn't die. He still has access. He can come into this world anytime he wants in a body. He's in and out. He shows up. He pops up. According to the Moiranim, what is Gilul Eliyahu? Gilul Eliyahu is that when you're having a moment of clarity. When you're having a moment of clarity, when you're feeling a moment of clarity, you had a moment of clarity, that's called Gilul Eliyahu. He had in his galus, there was an alignment. There was like, wow, a breakthrough, something snapped, something aligned. Or if you're feeling inspired, this is something that is an inspiration, and you're in a high vibration. That is a form of Gilul Eliyahu. Now, there's also a physical manifestation which the tzaddikim have. There's a way to do that he just shows up. But that is Gilul Eliyahu. So every time you're having a moment, you're having a connection, that is that moment. Any questions?
I think
Let's do it.
All of
You
these
have
alignments.
people,
Yep.
the circle is full, and you can stay in the mattress.
Sure. That's exactly what I was saying. Yes. Thank you for bringing that up again. So
My question is, if 3 things don't have alignment,
they're aligned with a different consciousness. They're aligned with
They have consciousness.
what's that?
They have consciousness.
Everything is consciousness, but it's a low consciousness. An animal also has. It's not a. It's a consciousness. It's an energy. It's not consciousness. Is an awareness. The animal is not. It's his way of expressing. Everything is an energy.
Because technically, all these consciousness, it makes sense. So that's what a business idea. I mean, let's say if you go to the mikveh every day, automatically guy down like will find trash because you force yourself into doing something. Everything is like that, yeah. Russian time, it's automatic.
So very good.
So-
Yeah.
So how do you?
Yeah. So let's go with that. Exactly. You can be meditating while you're washing dishes and brushing your teeth. 100%. If you're present with it, it's avodas Hashem. You can be in the schwitz and you are fully present, and you're in a meditative, you're in a dvekus, you're in a connection. But if I'm in the schwitz and I'm thinking, when can I finish? Because I want to go back to learning, then I am technically speaking out of alignment. Because what I'm saying is that this is not godly. This is not here. It's not happening over here. So when you're saying going to the mikveh, and if I keep doing something, I get into it, that is exactly it. Everything is coming into wheels. It's galgalam, alles draait sich. Everything is coming into, it's a movement. Everything moves. There's das tachton, das elyon. There's low wheels, small wheels, and then there's the bigger wheels. So I can use my energy to eat pizza, to be upset. So I'm spinning my wheels on that. I'm captured into that. Or I can take that and now change that course by going to the mikveh, getting into it. Any action that I do, I can get myself into a vibration. I can get myself into a higher consciousness. Now, happens to be that we have a manual that tells us what to do to get us into a higher vibration, which is tefillin, davening, eating, being mindful when I eat, being mindful when I go to the bathroom, being mindful what I listen to, what I want to engage with. If I take my energy and I start talking here about low conscious stuff, now we're bringing that into das tach.
That's amazing. Once you tap into that, you realize how stupid you were when you didn't want to tap in. The toilet is the best as I have. It just makes so much sense.
Correct.
This is it.
Yeah, but
Everything is Birahim.
But let's do one more thing with that. You want to be mindful that when we upgrade, when we go into a higher conscience, when we upgrade, not to bash where I was yesterday. Because when I do that, I trap myself into a lower consciousness. I get into a certain resentfulness and a certain anger, and before you know it, you pull right back in there. So you want to be very mindful. Yeah, yesterday I was in a different consciousness, and you keep with love and compassion, you keep climbing that ladder. Now there's another level, which is Bluetooth, no wheels. There's no thinking. There's no processing. You can turn on the area and shine. If you guys have, yeah, that's stuff around. Put it on 2 numbers. Don't freeze me here. No, I'm being generous over there. There's another level, which is a Bluetooth level, which is, let's go like this.
It's right there.
1 second, yeah. And we're gonna go back to the 10 people. And then go back to you too. So it's still high. Are they drinking in the back over there? What's that? The other one also? All right. There is another level of, let's go like this. You ready? You ready? You ready?
The level of what?
There's the wheels. I can think of low conscious stuff.
Yesterday and realize that it was part of.
Okay, and then I can go into a higher conscious. I'm processing now higher conscious stuff. Yeah, that I'm doing. But that is still being stuck in the mind. I'm still processing and I'm still imagining that I'm still making cheshbonos. And while I do that, I'm still stuck in chat GPT. There's chatter going on. And ultimately, it's going to pull you back in. There is another level where you're completely present, which is any thought, anything that comes up, you just dismiss it. There's nothing to talk about. There's nothing to think about. There's nothing to think about. And I left a message on that. We did a note on that. I think it was the triangle. I think it was Pesach or something like that. The triangle. Yes, it was Mamash before Pesach. I don't think many people listened to it because it came in right before. The triangle is as follows. Two people are standing in front of each other, the cowboys. Both of them are holding a weapon. Who's going to put it down first? I don't trust you. If I put it down, you're going to maybe do something. If he puts it down, do something. So, and then it's never ending. And then the third guy comes, or the fourth guy comes, his friends come. And before you know it, we're all locked in. And we start building a whole life around being stuck in this, like Russia and then America. Both of them having these massive weapons, and everybody's holding the guns, and nobody wants to put it down. I don't trust you. I don't trust you. And then there's evil people. There are people that actually live off of that, and they feed false information, right? They create chaos on purpose. So we're staying. What's that?
Not going to fight. They're just going to stand.
It's a standstill, but they may not fight. But while this is going on, there's a lot of other pain happening.
Oh, the standstill is worse.
It's worse than fighting.
It's worse than fighting, but there's also fighting going on because everybody's keeping up and everybody is creating and causing and instigating, and there's no peace because the minute there's going to be peace, we're going to get to live and they will die. So their existence is living off of the past. Now, the same thing happens with us sitting here right now at this very moment. Mahal Cup, we're holding cheshbonos. Nobody here is fully present. Let's just say, I still have tomorrow, the deal tomorrow, my wife, my kids, my partner, my brother, my sister, the Yanner. And every time we have a thought, it's a laser directed at that person. One, boom. This causes friction. There's direct friction, which is causing direct friction. Then there is the side noise, which is as there is just a heavy energy, some people just react to it automatically. They're just spinning around, drinking, getting high, and just looking to numb the pain, going on pills, overeating, undereating, doing all that as a result of that vibration while these cover are just holding. So there's the ones that are holding, the alphas, and then there's the little guys that are just victims holding on to that. Now, if we can, what's the saying? If we hold two shabusim, then we'll be out. Two. We did one. We need one more. Two shabusim. What? Okay. So if we can get into a place of absolute stillness where everybody puts their weapons down, there's no judgment. Right? You come in and you say, hey, listen, I'm feeling rocks and stones. And this guy comes in and everybody is holding, every gave it on a haltoon, a certain judgment. And these judgments are causing friction. The purpose of having a gathering, a high conscious gathering, which is what we're doing over here, is if we can create even 3 hours. 3 hours. There are people sitting in up there in Tibet and all that. This is what they do all day. They meditate and they pray. They sit in stillness all day and they're creating positive energy in the world. They're creating. If we can sit for 3 hours to carve out the space, open up a space where everybody is just chill, no judgments, let go of everything. But what's going to happen? But tomorrow, if I let go, my problem is still going to be there. Yeah, it's not changing. But if you can continue doing that, and get out of the head, go into the higher frequency, which is the Bluetooth, completely. Anything that pops up, just pop it and just release it. I'm not interested. I'm not holding space for that.
Okay, the way of doing it, just that too much. Like, I had it last week. Ik was kamers met die let's met wijnnuggets. And I started omgevangen ja, dus wijnnuggets. En I started talking like crazy. En de eerste moest gewoon naar kind. Gekeken op naar u van Brunsje wat besteedt. I'm sorry, that was the shit. Don't make me my fish best. Yes, I don't need. Instantly sorry. Yeah.
Very good.
Simple story. Dat is het. Daar is shit gewoon. Stil shit. Maar that's all.
You shut down the noise, you shut down the vibration. And this that the pain, these triggers that we have it's not ours. But it's Giyashim from the Zaydas and the Tatas. What?
It's very fine line between pushing away and see the left brain there and having a function and push the problems. You don't want to push away the problems, right?
You don't want to push away the problem, you want to just melt away the problem. Because as long as let's put it like this, if I was hurt as a child, so my channel, my body, my satellite dish is automatically triggering that there's energy here. As if I'm automatically driving this energy with anger. And I'm going to trigger, and you're going to trigger back, and suspend. This is what we do all day. If I can go into stillness through healing, through saying l'chaim, and whatever method that you need to use to calm the body down, then automatically you have a Zen moment. You have a moment of healing. You have one moment of healing. From that moment, your problem becomes, the temperature of the problem goes down.
Yes. It's still recommended and definitely actually.
Right now, this is happening.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. This is Fayette. So tomorrow your problem is not going on now, unless you go out there tomorrow and you're not aware of this. And a mulay comes in and we go back tomorrow and we reactivate that problem. You reactivate it because you go back to okay, I'm sitting onto the problem. Or versus by going into stillness. And the person that you're having an issue with may trigger because but what happens if I switch the script on him and instead of responding to him, I respond differently? Or I say, I'm sorry. What happens is that now you're weakening that trigger and it becomes softer. And slowly we start doing that. You can apply that in business, you apply that everywhere. You just become softer with it, and that is going into the higher channel, which is that we have the koyach to go above the wheels, above the mazulas. We're not bound to anything, but we need to bring it into Veld. We have to channel it through all these wheels and all these galaxies. But I'm bringing in a new koyach now. I'm bringing in a new energy. We get to rewrite the program of what's going on with it, and this is our job. This is Chayal David. This is the Melech's army, which is bringing in new possibility in the world, channeling a new possibility, and it's our job to do. Nobody's going to do it for us, and the sooner we do that, we do this through different methods. Not everybody has I can't sit with everybody and explain it, but some just simply do a breath work and they feel good for an hour, for 3 days, for a week. And you got to keep doing it until you have it. And some do. It goes even going out to eat with your wife, having a moment, and being present with it. So you're bringing in this healing the feminine, healing the energy, healing the womb, and slowly, and it's happening everywhere now, right? Everybody is meditating, everybody's doing whatever they're doing to be mindful and all that. That's the purpose of going on vacation. I'm not going to go to the most expensive hotel. I'm going to check out and shut down the machine. Shut down the machine for a week. And within a week, you're going to have what? In your whole vacation, you're going to have a day, 2 days that you're fully present. And then you start stressing already over coming back. And that's it. So it's capturing the moment, getting the moment, a Zen moment. And from there, you start spreading the light. The koyach of 10 people sitting together is unbelievable koyach. But we have to just shut down and tap into a higher flow.
It's stillness now. It looks very boring. So it's can ongaan met this and go with it als je kunt zijn.
No, that's the mind.
Stillness now.
How do you feel with the stillness?
It feels good for the moment, but I'm not going to going feel.
Yeah, it's a famous question. How long can you sit in it? Because our bodies are resisting it. Because I need to be. Father keeps hitting me in the head. If I'm not in pain or if I'm not active, then I'm just bored.
But Ingemein weiß man halt steht. Also the whole purpose of Ingemein is just sit and enjoy. But the bell is nicht so.
We're
You
gonna.
have to sit and enjoy and so.
That's the mind we're gonna play today. About how we're going to tonight.
Nein, I'm forgetting now.
Can I not? This is not. Yeah, this is what we're talking about. We're gonna talk about today. About how we're going into tonight. What's that? The Ganeden? Here? Yeah, if you're sitting empty, then you're bored. That's what we need. Here we're here to be active, but we don't need to be active in pain. I can be active in knowing that what I'm doing is that down here we have the key to activate the energy. Now remember something. This world, in Ganeden, it's 3 feet away from me. It's 3 feet away. Do and the Ganeden, it's 3 feet away. We have over here, we have the ability, we have the key to switch that energy. Once we're checked out of the body, you don't have the key. You can't change anything. Everything is already the way it is. Whatever you build over here, that's what you're going to be living over there. Whatever I activate here, that's my reality. So here, we're just creating energy. We're changing energy. And then once we leave the body, we are left with that energy body. And whatever you built over here, that's what you're going to be living over there. Right. Until we're going to evaporate this body, and then we're gonna live forever. But this world is here to stay for always.
Why shouldn't I evaporate it tomorrow? That's it. This is what I want.
No, because our
still in this world.
because our job is here to come to bring it into the world. In the mission and the
So the thing is basically, if you're stressed, my meditation I should not almost stressed, cannot I should keep on doing it.
Yeah, yes, but you need to also do. You can't just sit. You need to do. We have 3 times a day that we're supposed to go into meditation. That we're going into stillness. It's not just about chapping and mincha. To get really present. To take the time, and it's not like I'm able to do it, but this is what it's supposed to be doing. That we're taking that time to get fully present. Okay, to check out and go into the side vibration, and then once I'm recharged, I go back into the world and I get triggered again. And then I clean it. That's a part of going to the mikveh. That's a part of being mindful, to clean off all that stuff that's only played. And I can now start again. That's the purpose of the breathing. That's all, and that is Shabbos. Shabbos is the ultimate silence. It's a gift. It's the ultimate silence. Right now, no matter how silent we're going to get, there's still noise. There's noise in the background. Like he said, I'm bored. How long can I sit in silence? How long can I sit still?
The point is basically the Shabbos, it is whatever it is. Gastrica and it is the Arbeit, it is Laden, mindful, Laden,
100%. That's exactly the purpose. The purpose was that?
There's a number of bodies without opening and do activity.
Yes.
You're going to keep on doing that for 80 years.
Yes.
Just how you're going to feel about it.
But it changes. Every 10 years, we're in a different life.
Yeah, but you're not going to finish.
But the drastic, I was processing different than I'm processing by the 40. It's just it's a different energy.
Yeah, but it's never going to end.
Well, it's never going to end. Until we're going to finish.
No, I'm saying
Until we're going to
point
finish.
that you're always going to work on something. You're always
Because
going to.
there's still levels of light that we need to activate. So as long as there's levels of light that we need to activate, there's going to be levels of pain that we're going to experience in order to activate that light. And I want to finish that. When you by tapping into that, by using that method and that form of bitter and healing, you can get out from any sickness. Because anything that you're experiencing it's an energy. But it's almost like a cake.
I wanted to ask you before, what's possible that physically, let's say my head hurts, I could get out of it?
Sure, 100%. The head doesn't hurt. The head hurts because you need more water in the body, or there's a digestion problem going on in your stomach. And if you drink water, it may remove itself. If you relax the muscle and you breathe, it's going to release 100%. 100% headaches can be, nothing is physical. Back pain, there is no such thing as physical pain. Everything is an energetic block. We feel we have pain in the lower back. Lower back pain is, there is a valve. There are valves where they connect the lower back with the hip. And sometimes when there is, let's say, an overflow of energy that I'm processing, and I'm sitting hunched over, and it can't flow, or even if I'm sitting straight, but I'm stressed out, so I'm stuck. I'm not breathing. I'm stuck. So it starts building, and then that's why they have a slip disc, because it pops. It's a herniated disc because the energy overflowed and busted.
By the speech last week about after someone he's a little more because of that.
So it's,
yes, man, I recommend
it's aligned with what I'm saying.
it. It's basically that if you have something that bothers you constantly, the subconscious tries to fight it. So it's also not going to give you physical pain. Think about that and don't think about the about.
So I had migraines for years. I had migraines from the age of 12 until I was probably 16. I had one long migraine, never ending. All types of doctors and checks and this, that, and the other, until I started tuning into different foods that I'm eating. I cut out different foods, dairy products, cut out. Grape juice was one of the most, till today, if I look at grape juice, I can get a migraine. There's so much chemicals in that thing that it's a crime. Literally, it's a crime. What's in that thing? The sugar and all that. So I started cutting out until white flour. This is how I created my diet.
I'm going through such thing right now, actually. I'm struggling a lot, and I aligned it with something that I have a physical problem with. It's crazy how I got to the point where I started realizing that it's one problem. Physical and mental.
Yes.
It's unbelievable. It's all one thing.
So what happens is like this. Let's go like this. Let's go back to the basics. If man Rebbe, maar gezoek de geider als ik ben aan and I'm not good, and I'm a troublemaker and all that, right? That creates a certain vibration in my body. That vibration is a consciousness. It's a real thing. It's a living organism. That living thing does not want to die. So what is he going to eat? If I was called stupid and I was hit and put down, I'm not going to look for a green juice, because a green juice is going to put me into flow. So I'm going to look for something that's going to feed it, which is going to be grape juice. It's going to be heavy foods, listen to scary news, garbage news, and then I'm going to feed that with actions, and then I'm going to get into conflict from that, so on and so forth. Let's go to the animals, the way they kill animals, what they feed animals, the meat. Some of them are sick. Most of them are sick animals because they inject them with hormones. You take a 2-month-old cow that weighs already 2,000 pounds because they need to fatten it up to have it grow quick so you can sell it for, make more money on it. So you don't need to sit there and raise it for a couple of years. And now you eat that, you're taking in all that. We take in that energy. We take that in, and that's why we walk around all sluggish, and everybody's, sick in the mind, and we get agitated and looking for petty conflict, nervousness, road rage, and all that. So this is where you keep feeding that by changing the way by simply learning this stuff. Learning high conscious stuff, you're automatically not going to go to the foods that you're not able right now to go eat a pie of pizza, because you just feel heavy and sluggish and you feel sick from it. You just can't. And you walk into a restaurant that's not clean, you're going to feel that this food was left outside and it has bacteria. You become mindful, you become present with it, and once you become present and mindful, your conversation changes. Your energy changes, the triggers that you have changes, you become a different person. And the same goes with the headaches. The headaches are, the body is telling you something is not right. There's a signal that goes out. It tells you it's not right. Okay?
Yeah.
What's that?
Of
course. Some word, right? Any suggestions? Any suggestions?
What is that you want?
I'm so
I know.
not.
Tune into that.
I'm so not. But
I know. Tune into that.
That's the whole put a code in and I can't get it down.
Really, not really.
After
I think I'm not smiling.
this is it.
If we do, we have to, everybody has to close their eyes, read and record. Yeah, but everybody's ready for it. So
Kasha?
That's what come on.
That's the
Gotta
question.
gotta be involved. I gotta pay bills, credit card debt, you know.
Okay, you can resolve it over here. But thank you so much. If you have to go, you have to go. But I would love
I
to.
want to be up tomorrow. You know, the
So thank you for stopping by. Send my love to your brother.
my pleasure, sure.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. Shut the switch. Silver town, you know you better get right so. This is a time. You know you better get right so. Yeah, hey. Rama Kodama. Silver town. You know you better get right so. Yeah, hey. Rama Kodama. אני ספי מעשי בכל השם יצא אני ספי מעשי בכל השם יצא
just realized something. Okay. I'm not going to for different times in a day. And I can receive and then the hell hard time. Seconds for at a time. Because the bikes is
Shalom.
different and in certain places, why can't I tap into that? You realize
I did this morning. I did doing my reading. I was doing a reading. There's a reading that you do with your tongue. And you read like this. In from the mouth and out from the nose, but you twist your tongue. It's a certain yoga breath. And person I was doing it with, like going through the meditation on it, and it's supposed to like cool off your body, cools off your system. And what happens is that you have certain heat in the body. That is really achum, it's a varm. It's too hot outside, right? It doesn't cook. So by doing that, I became aware of an energy tapping into a softness, a different energy. Exactly, it's almost like a fire. You get to control. And I'll pick up all that have different sirufim. Here the true, here the feature. Here there's actually different sirufim. It's toast of different kalunas. Here the tefillah is under kaluna, under. So it's exactly sure. It's exactly what you're saying. Now, once again, you control the temperature. If it's still not cooking to the temperature, if the pot is if it's still too spicy, then it's still too spicy.
I'm not in control of the temperature. I'm in control to receive whatever I'm set to receive at that particular moment.
No. The temperature is out there. The temperature is out.
Yeah, but can get different energies of what things free.
We're processing, it's coming through different channels. Yeah, but hold on a second. Good, but there's still a vibration of fineness, of goodness that we can tap into. We still can cook.
Always. That happens always.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So if you're still not getting the way you want to get it, then the problem is with the way you're cooking the pot.
Contemplating on I did the same thing this morning, and I'm doing the same thing now, and I have a hard time when I see it back, I see it's different colors. Which I realize if we're a different environment, different settings.
So like the other mothers, Malchus is going into darkness. Right?
So brengt terug exactly the spot die is moest me dat jetzt praat van binnen is dus vanaf aan en vanaf the adventures are for the purpose.
So you know what I mean?
Huh? Yeah.
All the songs, sing them all, please. Bring attention to the center of your chest. Bring attention center of your chest. I want you to imagine there's a line with small lights in it, running up and down. Thin line running from the throat. It's going back down like an 8. Down the center of your chest. Going to the solar plexus, which is a V shape where the ribs finish. It's moving like a triangle, pointed, the same shape as the solar plexus. From there, it's going into the center of your stomach. Around, going all the way to the bottom. Back up, moving up and down, going all the way up. From your throat, going to the center of your forehead. It's being generated by a light from the back of your head. Another triangle. That's what film is. Just imagine that's bringing to your mind. Your head is lit up, a light blue light, soft. Feeling present without detached from all types of angst, any type of pain, pulling, squeezing, being present without flow. It's an ancient flow, it's something that never left, it's always here. Connecting to that is Das. It's the part of us that never left. It's always here. This moment is forever. This moment never was, never will be, just is. Feeling present with your legs, the Netzachayil, which is the grounding. These are the 2 grounding wires that's connected to planet Earth, to Malchus. The Earth is full of energy, full of magnetic pull. So we're being pulled by Earth, and we're being pulled by the moon, or the Luna. Letting go of everything, letting the magnet just clean you, pulling out everything, all types of lust, jealousy. It's not you, it's the fabric. Changing that, letting go, having the koyach, that's the giver, that's the strength. Overcoming by just going into stillness. Tapping into the flow, tapping into compassion, to gratitude. Gratitude was the word I moved for, gratitude, just being grateful. Even if you have nothing to be grateful for, just be grateful for the moment. It's a seed, planting a seed. Mishpat. Tzedek and Mishpat. Be down yourself, judge yourself with compassion. By having gratitude, gratitude comes from Hoyt. Hoyt is the left leg, the left side. Take a deep breath in, mouth open. Exhale and release. Relaxing the body, relaxing the chest. Connecting to the breath, becoming one with the breath. This light, this energy is fueled by the breath. That is who you are. That is who we are. And relax your eyes. You can focus your eyes to the center of your forehead. Like almost like it's pulling up naturally, going up. You can bring into your focus the center of your forehead. Just imagine a light, soft energy. It's the imaginary mind. You can imagine anything you want. The same way you can imagine your pain, the same way you can imagine your struggle, you can also imagine your freedom. Relax your shoulders, relax your shoulder blades. Let go, move your shoulders forward. Every blast going into deeper stillness, deeper awareness. Don't be bothered by nothing, just cleaning. As you create pressure here, it has to release somewhere else. Everything is a movement, everything is connected. Nothing is coincidence. Nothing is just happening, everything is connected. Relax your jaws, relax your ears, just let go. Relaxing your eyes. Four, the spine of Rio. What is just gonna say? See what's going on all around. These energies that we feel, the goodness and the gratitude, is all being transferred over by nothing just is, everything is a channel. We have a channel, it's just the flow, everything is being channeled. It's messages, movements, everything you say, every thought we think, everything we speak creates letters flying everywhere. So start creating your life. Start creating positivity. It starts by feeling the heartbeat. Feeling gratitude. We're starting the Shavuos of the Thomas, the Drive Off, and we're starting. Which means that I was talking to somebody yesterday and it was like, just the spiel, we're here again and again, and Shavuos of the Thomas, not more fast, again, we're doing the Shavuos. The person corrected me, we're starting to build it as an image. Because as the Besamigdash was coded, physical, remember what we spoke about before. We spoke about that here we create the chaimer, we create the physical. It's almost like imagine that you're running with 100 pounds on your back. And then you release that. How light are you? So here we are in the weight, so we can build density to this oil, to this light, building up the energy body. And when we release that weight, when we let the body go, we're left with the energy. So the Besamigdash was the chaimer, was the physical manifestation was the heaviness, and that heaviness created, once that was released, it was taken away, we're left with the Besamigdash, with this light. So we're going into the 3 weeks, we're going into silence, we're getting present with your Besamigdash, with your light, your letters. Try to breathe in stillness. Don't restrict the breath, just breathe in stillness. breaking the cycle. Misha Rötzel Hamshach Beire Torah. The eerste Mamshach on Beire Torah. Zurich met Gila Hamshach Laats met the Biram Chamen. You have to attract to yourself the Biram Chamen, which is hot words. Gachla Ish, like you brand the coil canal. Vahadiba Nimshach Malava Elian. Speech is Nimshach from the Lava Elian. So do Oven and do a Hats, do a Lava Elian. Begin as two Lavuri. The rock from my heart, the stein from my heart. But so Lishbek, Sicha, but filled with my Shem's birth. And that was always business heart, mit Fille, von Neibischen. But they to Filusa, Dorf Zandav, and Nichmeli Rachma Shem's birth alien. Wird Rachmunis, wird overgewekt Rachmunis from the Shem's birth alien. Shem's birth Olaf, Rachma Shem's birth Olaf. But Niftach Leva Alien. So we get F and the level. We're just going to do this one piece. Then we're going to wrap up. But Niftach Leva Alien. So we get F and the Leva Alien. So listen to this. It's a down here in the heart is connected to the heart's earth. When you open up the heart over here, it's almost like these clips. When you press it, it opens up. So when you press your heart, you open up the heart from up above. And from them came to Rachma Alien. When if the Chlav Alien, the Ikra Rachmum who believe. The Ikra Rachmum is in the heart. It's in the heart. When Nishma Malav Alien the Biram. When Nishma Malav Alien the Biram. So it's came to us Shefa from the Lava Alien. So we are in an organism. We're all connected. Everything is a moving piece. Everything is connected. You think, you move, you're opening up. Start becoming mindful of that. And if you start doing things with an action, with a kavuna, miyadnan, which means that most of us are davening from cup. We're focusing. We spoke about the mantra earlier. We spoke about a mantra. What's a mantra? We zoekt über dezelfde zaak, Iber 100-mal, dezelfde daven, jeden Tag, Iber and Iber, over and over again. We keep repeating the same thing. The purpose of it is that eventually I don't need to think. I can just get present in my heart. Once I tap into the heart, that's when you open up. When you start focusing in from your heart, when you start davening from your heart, if that's Gaslen Iber, that's the focus of the Iber. But once you know the words already, and you just go into the heart, that's when it opens up. And this is how you get your action. This is how you should be answered immediately. So this Zilla is the stein. Beginnes Pesach Tzir is even mine. Mach auf the Tzir is het Kimavasi. Hier beginnes Slav, beginnes Tzur Lolovi. Alef Lichma Barachma, Mashpia de Biram Spira de Biram Cham. Ze Mashpia de Biram Cham, hij ze werkt, beginnes Cham Lady de Kibi. Bahagigi, Tiva Eish de Barti Lushain. Ze brengt affair in de Barti Lushain, ze redt zich van het zijn. Ik wil hebben zeggen, ik zie hem kol de Irater. We gaan eens kiezen maar leeg libben. Van die hart zijn geschreven alle Irater. So, alle Torah sinds Homer komt van Iraq, from the pulse that beats, that activates, that generates, that pulses into this world. Voor Misha roeit ze lukkig Ezebier, terug lukkig ma halev anal, met veel bakusha. This will aantrekken in them, has to tap into this, to their hearts, but veel bakusha. Now, what does Torah mean? There's different levels of Torah. There's Torah's Torah, Torah's Moshe, Torah's Nevi'im, Ksivim, Gemura, Mefarshim, Kabula. But in some ogen dat Torah. In some ogen dat Torah was een zaak van Machadasham Gebirim, Torah. The Torah is that when you go out there to bring in this Naya Torah, this Torah Chadusha into the world, into your whatever you're doing for your living, your panusa, whatever it is that you're doing, you have to bring in this fire into whatever you have. That's our job. ובשביל זה צורך כל אחד מפרש יותר. קודם שמאס כלבר איזה ביר, צורך למתחיל לשפך, תפילוס לפני השם הסבורה, כדי לאור לבעלים. The Rambam writes in Hilchos Tefillah, which is right now, that's what we're doing right now, that's what we're up to. Medaven, zug de verte, whatever you're doing, you're saying Shema, whatever your level of tefillah, whatever your temperature is, when you're finished saying the words, he's like, Demetz Haibun Tzedala. Take a few minutes and talk. Say what's on your heart. Say what you want. By saying what you want, you're opening up now, you're warm, you're hot. Even if you just said Shema, and you listen to a song to inspire you, and you start talking, Malchus is going to respond back to you. It has no choice. You're putting out these words, these oisias. These words are the oisias that Ushna Kodesh that created everything that we see. And you're putting out these words from your rock, and it comes back to you. That's when you can put a beer on your day. Yeah, we're almost wrapping up already. You want to go for a smoke on the porch? First, we do that. No pressure. This is guys, I'm wrapping up. This is for wrapping up.
Yeah, for 12 minutes.
2 minutes. Yeah, we're wrapping up without a minute. Stimmt?
Okay.
That's why I like this.
Hier.
Wat voor geld van de Maar I'm
Die
getting.
weiß wie es geht.
You understand? In the work that I do, so you have to understand this arbeit. This is how this works.
Warum sind sie gestern langsam eingeladen?
Yeah. No, I'm going to tell you how it works. This is how it works. The menschkind, ik ben zeer aziz, and I'm very gentle. And most of the time they get the point, but sometimes they don't. Then I get brutally aggressive. The mama's aggressive. I think we're at that point. Cigar and club. Huh? I mean, we feel the shit. The panics things. The mama get it.
Será trouxe na ponte, vai?
Mama, I'm not sure to leave the pain. Leave the pain.
Tu tens?
No, isto é suspense.
Tu tens?
Isso dá tecido, isso dá rack.
I think that's
Jetzt hat sie ganz anders.
Okay, so I'll try. Okay, verklep het eerder maar.
Yes, I'm sure what was that.
What's this? Madame?
Very good.
Okay. So. Anyways, Gerre.
It's a sign. The
No.
Kingston Zoom we can imagine have this and bring it into reality.
Yes.
So let's accept that as examples.
The one is on.
Let's accept that I tested it and it's real.
Okay. Good.
From
Now,
imagine
now,
this is the reality.
amen. So now we have live testimony.
Yeah.
This is of YouTube. But listen, let's go like this. Let's do like this. Let's wrap this up. It's we got to start doing it. We got to start working. We got to start getting the job done. We have to step into it. We have to support, and we have to start acting on it. Start playing small, and start dismissing the noise that we have. This is what we're doing. We're getting together to recharge and to pull and push everybody forward. Everybody, to make this fantasy, to make it real. This English was a fantasy, so to speak. It was colorful, the Mishkan full of color. We have the koyach from Chites, from the Pura Adin. We have the koyach from Chak. The Chak is, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. I like to take everything like Shlomo Melech because that's exactly the point. Shlomo Melech was the kleinste Mensch. And it's again the secret how you tap into this. It makes no sense. You don't understand it, which means that it comes to a place, that's the way it is, kacha. No explanation. And because we're coming from a place of ayin, from no explanation, we are the yesh as a result of the ayin. So our yesh makes no sense. Which means that we have the ability to literally make sense out of nothing. Because you have the koyach to hold on to a string that makes no sense. That's the Pura Adin. So is chikas atoid. Those are the chok from the Torah. And in the Torah, we're all letters from the Torah. Our bodies are emanated. The Torah is a fleet oasis. And then we come together and we have all the tzirifim over here. Anything is possible. Refiya, Yeshia, Simcha, anything is possible by simply tapping into gratitude, Ad Makoyim, tapping into that, and let's start creating. Let's start driving a train into crazy flow. Shefa, Simcha, just be happy. Yes, just be the Simcha. Be the Simcha and start by being happy. I'm not making space. I'm not allowing for any disappointment to enter. And that is healing the generational pain. That is the Shavuos B'Talmud. That's healing the generational pain. Because the pain, because I'm programmed from my ancestors, from the Tata, from the community. I'm saying we were in gulas. So it's can sich kleben auf mir, ja. Wenn einer so mich rief, und jetzt hat Friese. So geht mein Kopf, ich bin Friese. But when einer rief mich, hey, du bist, you're not good. So it's gonna stick. Because there's some judgment that's already planted in me from the Elton. And this is what is healing it, not allowing any dalad amas of any type of low consciousness, of any type of low frequency. By simply rising above it. You don't need to understand it. You can't process it. It's a chak. You can do it because kacha. The consciousness.
Ja, based on the Shiratsi, you could have opstegen. The Zoe is the Armin. It's going to make an impossible possible.
Okay, so I'm here to support that.
When I figure that out,
Wow. Okay. Listen.
Misschien de laatste net.
the Zoe Arbeit, they make the impossible possible. Because I will make the impossible happen. The Zoe Arbeit. Once I got to understand that point, I think I'm actually. So So jetzt kann ich schon imagine the impossible because of flight shows us out, but mindful.
Gratitude, simcha, and then acting, going in, stepping out. Gratitude and simcha, in and out. And let's go to some English, brother. Let's start doing this. And here in this mind, when the Alter Rebbe goes in, it's the most beautiful mind that I've seen over here. When the Alter Rebbe is talking, Mamash He's basically explaining that we're like right in the Madua and is doing. And I'm base lash tzachos, Dushan. Now you're living in the movie that you created. While you're here, you can change, you can move things around. So by instrumentalist, both ganze Welt, in the boat, in the Mashuvas, in the Dibim, in the Masa. So shutting down the mind, you don't need to cheshbonis, you don't need to process nothing, just shut down the mind. I promise to stop it there. Yeah, please. So you're not late over. Okay. Ze doen fix ook, want als een schroosklaar, dat is altijd van meer. Maar kan me zeker maken blijven vanaf verder, en staan we natuurlijk. We hebben toen, we're living crazy times. July 4. That's a beautiful way. Last and Sashis, Mama's. All right, so technically speaking, we can stay here. I'm not in a rush, but let's do Ma'ariv for those who do need to go. That's all I'm in. Next week we could do. I think we should do again. Torah is signed up for it. We can do it bi-weekly. We can start having this year bi-weekly. We can do again next week. The next week's the drive off. It's kind of problem with the music.
Do?
Yeah, the host is available for it's always available. Even when the cover is on the do. But
Shifting his energy,
so.
When I said before that you're always gonna have something to work. There's like a fear or belief that you always have to work. But does I said before that you're always gonna have something to work on. There's like a fine line of fear or belief that you have to work in order to make something.
Slowly, then you can switch. You don't need to work. You don't need to work from a place of pain.
What is not pain? No,
what's the question? What is that?
No, I'm thinking on that maybe it's a belief that you always have to work.
Yeah, because that's the problem. It's suppression. The mind doesn't have time to drink in order to manage.
So what is the truth?
The truth is that you can work from a place of symptoms. I don't need to be in pain in order to. If I believe that I'm good enough, I'm confident of myself, then I don't need to live from a place of pain in order for me to exist. Right now, I need to continue doing this in order to do the pressure. When it's going to get, I wasn't good enough, so I keep feeding it. But once I reprogram that, then I can just be successful from a place of success, not from a place of suppression.
But you're still gonna have to work.
Yeah, but you can work, enjoy what you do. You don't need to work from a place of pain. And thank you, personal person. Marcelo, it's going to be
Das du die Stunde. Wir werden letzte Woche. 2 Wochen zurück? Ja.
in Center of America. In Park Slope.
Whatever.
Park Slope. That's not verstand, that's good. You just need to open your heart. You need to connect to your heart. You need to go into your heart. Your heart is a problem. With his mind?